Hi, my name is Daphne Page, and I am the 20-year-old author of 6 books currently. And I wanted to talk about some sale numbers so far for 2025 since we are nearing the end of April. And these won't be my final April sales since I do have an event this weekend. Um, but I figured I'd go ahead and make the video now and share what I've sold so far in 2025. And I think it's been going pretty well. Obviously, I want to sell more. I want to make this my full time career. But since it's a big improvement from last year, that is a success. So I have my stack of all my published books with me, all 6 of them. And I have 3 more I want to come out this year, and that is the plan. But so far, this is what we have. There's a lot. I sold 47 books so far this year, and this is April 24th when I'm recording this. And I've had 4,075 Kindle Unlimited page reads, and it will probably go up since I've been getting a lot of page reads so far today. But as of this moment, 4,075 so far this year. And I think I have over 7,000 now total since I put all my books in Kindle Unlimited last June. So it hasn't even been a year, and I've had over 7,000 page reads, which is really great for me. I love that. So I have a whole lot of numbers with me today. I've sold 47 books, and I have it broken down into which books I've sold. My first book, my debut, which is called The Heirs of Gaia, it looks like this. I marketed it as middle grade, but I think this year I'm going to start pushing it more as a young adult since the later books in this series hold more young adult themes. Even though the characters are 13 and 14 and a little older, they do fit into the young adult audience. But my only problem is the books are shorter than typical young adult books. So that is a little dilemma I'm facing, but I think a young adult audience would appreciate these books more, and it would be easier to market them as young adult than middle grade. So that is something I'm thinking about doing in 2025 just to see how it goes. So I've sold 6 copies of The Heirs of Gaia in 2025 so far, and this is one of my hardest series to sell, which, I'm going to try to remedy this year. That is one of my goals. But yeah, probably because I market it to a younger audience, and the people who are typically on Instagram and TikTok aren't that audience. They're looking for something a little more mature. So maybe marketing it as young adult will help me. I guess we will see. So I've sold 6 copies of Gaia. I've sold 3 copies of The Empire's Witch, which is the sequel to The Heirs of Gaia. And I've sold 2 copies of The Prince of Clymora, which is the 3rd book in that series. Book 4 is going to come out later this year, and book 5 is going to come out at the beginning of next year. That is what I have scheduled at the moment. I am going through draft 2 of book 4 currently, and I'm drafting book 5, and it's going really well. I've sold 4 copies of Jess. Jess is my young adult thriller/murder mystery romance that follows a group of outcasts who live in a camp in the forest called the Scurry, and the main characters, Jess and Olivia, team up together to catch the killer while also realizing that they love each other. It's one of my favorite books I've written. I'm really proud of it, and I'm glad that some people picked it up. And I have sold 10 copies of Return of Eve, which is so far my most popular book because it is a new adult dark paranormal portal fantasy, and it has been going really well on TikTok. And I have also done 1 Stuff Your Kindle Day so far this year, and Return of Eve has gotten 2,710 free ebook downloads. And I think I'm actually going to cut back on my Stuff Your Kindle Days this year because I realized I don't want to take the value away from the book by always offering it for free. It's just something I'm thinking about. Nothing is set in stone, but I'm definitely trying to up my marketing game this year and trying to make my books writing a full-time sustainable career. I also do freelance illustrating on the side as well. So I think with my freelance illustrating and selling my books, I can make something sustainable and something that at least pays my bills. I don't have that many right now, but and it's actually going really well. I think by the end of this month, I might actually have made enough money from my books and from my freelancing to have paid my bills, which is a little insane because that has never been the case before. This one came out in September. I sold 22 copies of it so far this year. Most of them have been ebooks. Actually, I think all of them this year have been ebooks. I really hope people buy the paperbacks more because I put so much work into them. I think they're absolutely stunning. And they have pretty little illustrations in them. Also this year, the hardcovers came out, but I'm not sure about that since Ingram Spark takes some time to load and I don't check it as often. So I might have, I might not have. I don't know. So I've sold 47 books, and that is sold so like someone actually bought it, but I have more figures for Kindle Unlimited, and it's a little strange how you count Kindle Unlimited reads as sold books because you do get paid for it, or do you just count it as like a little side thing? I don't know. That's a lot of dilemmas a lot of indie authors have, but I have separate figures for that and then combined figures, so let's just talk about that. I have had 5.67 books of Return of Eve read through Kindle Unlimited, 2025, 4.25 read of Banished by Darkness on Kindle Unlimited, and just over 2 copies of Jess read on Kindle Unlimited. Now, I have no way to know if these are people actually reading the entire book or several people starting the books and not finishing them, but that is what I have calculated for the figures. And if I added those together as sold books, because I do make money from them, then I would have sold almost 59 books. It's 58.95, so if we round, 59 books so far this year, which is actually quite splendid. And also a little thing I noticed that really makes me smile is that the Return of Eve Kindle Unlimited page reads and the Banished by Darkness Kindle Unlimited page reads are so close. So that means people are reading book 1 and realizing they do want to continue the series and read book 2, which makes me smile because, you know, when you doubt if you're a good writer and then you realize people are actively looking for book 2 and actively reading your sequel, then you're like, I guess I am good enough. Sold, let's just stick with the typical sold numbers, not including Kindle Unlimited, and that would be 47 so far on April 24th. Compared to last year, so this time last year, I sold 20 books. So that's a big improvement. 27 more books than this time last year, which is, you know, as long as we're improving, we're being successful. I also have the total figures. So total books sold, and I've been doing this for just a little over 3 years. As I talked about in my previous videos, I've sold a cumulative of 268 books, and I didn't keep any records for year 1. So that is my best estimate of how many books I've sold. I recommend that if you are just starting out, keep good records because you will regret it later. So 268 books. And this time last year, I had only sold 89 total. That is 179 more books in just a year. And that's fantastic. I would love to sell like that many a month or a week because that would be astonishing. But that is a massive improvement. And so far, it's looking good. That is all I have for numbers. If you guys want another video, I'm thinking of doing one on word count, which might be interesting. So if you want that, just let me know in the comments below or DM me or something. Or if you have any video ideas, let me know. Thank you so much.